Throw Gang. We are joined by Inseam Sultan, Lawrence Schlossman, and myself, the Mesh Maestro. Yo, shout out the Meshman. I hope he copped today. James Harris. Welcome to the weekly Running the Boys with today's full episode only available on patreon.com/throwingfits. Lawrence, how's your day been, bro?
Wow, dude. We say the term nuclear a lot on this program. It's one of
It's offensive to my people.
it's one of my many catchphrases, but wow. Thank you to everybody who, in a mere matter of hours, have made the Pod Shorts V2 the most successful release we've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
John's, merch,
Collabs.
anything. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And
Thank you.
yeah,
Jesus.
I mean, I'm wearing them not just because my AC's been broken all week.
How's that going, by the way?
Terrible.
Wait, so
really
you have
bad.
no AC at all?
Really bad. What?
You have no AC?
No AC at all.
Have you had AC at all since you moved?
No. Because it wasn't, and I wasn't using it like the first day that it was hot. I turned it on for an extended period of time, just crapped out on me.
You're just gonna go? Are you squatting in your old place at night?
I've had, I should.
Right.
I've had 2 teams of different AC technicians in here from the same company, 2 electricians in here, doing like real manly shit and actually wearing like Dickies and Carhartt and like doing work in them.
Very cool.
Smoking Newports on the roof, which I
Tight.
let them do it. You can't smoke up there because you don't do any manual labor for me.
Sure. That's what it takes. You gotta earn. You gotta earn every dart.
You gotta earn your darts. Earn your darts. Episode title.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, it's trash. So I've been wearing the shorts all fucking week inside on the balcony.
They've been your
running
savior,
errands,
keeping things easy and breezy.
and I love them.
Yeah. They are available right now. They will be available until 10 a.m. on Sunday. The Throw Gang has spoken. The Darty Pack was too good of a deal.
I know. We left a lot of money on the table. We talked about how like the margins aren't crazy on this because it is expensive, more expensive to produce these than the OGs, which were like just blanks that were made in whatever the fuck.
Whatever sweatshop, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Like whatever Guatemalan sweatshop. And yeah, so kudos to us for bringing it to made in the U.S. motherfucking A.
Which counts for nothing,
We used
really.
to make
but
things in this country, but yeah, so the margins are smaller, but we're like, no, to our like partner that we're liaising with in the merchman, no, keep the price.
As
We
low
are
as
the
possible.
people's champs. We're keeping it $50.
You could easily sell these for $75, $100 a pop. They are obviously 50.
He was like, yo, people that make shorts in these factories sell them for 80 to 100.
No name. We're not going to mention any names because we're not. Listen, at this point, we have no competition. That has been made very clear again in a mere matter of hours. We are donating a portion of all proceeds to the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. We are not Dior. We are not going to penalize you if you want to free Palestine.
The joke being that Dior allegedly dropped Bella Hadid after she protested.
Are they what? So is Dior some like wrapped up with some like Zionist fucking conglomerate?
Bro, the fucking although there are anti-Semites in France, like France is very
is
anti-Semitic.
racist as fuck.
Damn. I mean, maybe they just hate everybody. Maybe they hate maybe they're rooting for both sides to lose. You know?
Those fucking frauds, man.
In a cruel twist, the PCRF headquarters in Gaza City, they were bombed last night.
Yeah, TF curse strikes again.
Yeah.
But we are doing our part. This was always the plan all along. Obviously, we talked a bit about this last week, but we are always on the right side of history. Our politics are perfect.
Yes.
The more shorts that you guys buy, the more money we are more than happy to donate to an extremely worthy cause. Things are going great. So, you have till Sunday at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And
Kim Jones, eat my shorts. You fucking racist bitch.
Shit, dude. Yeah, damn. Fuck. Who made that call at Dior? That's
also-
such a bad. What did they think was gonna happen?
And it's all alleged, and some people are like, "Yo, it's just the timing.
Don't sue us.
It's just the timing of the deal where like her contract was up and they didn't re-up, and it just so happened that it coincided with her protesting alongside her Palestinian mans, and she herself, I believe, is part Palestinian. So it's all alleged. Don't sue us, fucking.
That's LVMH, right? Dior.
Yeah,
Huh.
I don't know, or caring, whatever. Either way, they're,
one of the two.
they're both racist.
Fuck them.
Yeah. So shorts, good cause, great John.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hand poked mesh.
Great cause, great John.
Again, if you cop the Darty Pack, yo, if you are feeling real generous to the boys and you want all 3, don't cop the Darty Pack. Cop them one at a time.
Leave that deal on the table.
And that way,
more money is donated.
See?
Wow.
It's just math.
Damn, we triple fucking backflipped into that one. Again, thank you to everyone. Absolutely astonishing to see that kind of support. You always expect these things to go well. And also, we ran this back, obviously a new and improved version, because this is what the people want. But to see a reception, and also, it's always weird to me, people that like don't listen to the show and are asking us all these customer service questions that we have answered ad nauseum on mic. It's like
numerous times.
So you just think throwing fits is like a cool fucking phrase, or like what are you doing buying these if you don't listen to the show? I mean, thank you, but
this brand is so subversive. They put out one John at a time every 4 months.
Yeah, right. We are the only podcast that matters. We are the most subversive brand in fashion, and as always, our politics are perfect.
Yo, and it's the only fashion brand that you can catch live June 5th.
Yes, Sirski.
Frequency Podcast Music Festival.
Google it. Do your Googles.
Yeah, we got Chapo Trap House. We got Every Time I Bust.
We got Zola Jesus. We got some
Downtown Boys.
Downtown, but I think people don't like them.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then we got some Tinder
Movies
live show.
Movies I Hate.
I Hate. That's a big one. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Oh, we booked our guests. So we know what our show is going to be for all intents and purposes. If you listen, I don't know why, if you didn't fuck with us, you would buy tickets based on our CTA. But if you love the show and you're fans of what we do, this is going to be a fun one. A couple fan favorites in the mix.
Also, if you hate us and you want to see us embarrass ourselves for your viewing pleasure, please, by all means, tune in. Tune the fuck in.
You already know whether we're doing this via microphones or video or we're doing it live, we will be debasing ourselves for money and or clout.
Oh, I cannot wait.
It's going to be...
I cannot wait to see you in Amiris.
Do you think it's going to be a shit show or you think it's going to go well? I'm kind of shook, to be honest.
We finally got like the like run a show or like the set time and like load in, load out. And like, I mean, we have about 3 hours to kill between sound check and going on, and there's some good bars in the area. So like, I don't know, man. It might get
maybe a little buzz. We might need a little. I mean, we don't need a buzz to perform. With that said, it doesn't hurt. Daddy's a little helper, you know.
Yeah, we maybe get some Blue Chew for performance issues.
Just potting with two giant erections.
Just walk out. Yo, that's the thing with these shorts, right?
Giant, giant erections.
Yeah, the biggest erections you've ever seen. All right.
The only erections that matter.
Before we get into make J.Crew great again, Olds at work, me calling out Larry for his shitty, lazy, honestly offensive email tactics that really just drag down the quality of everything happening around us.
Okay. Tell me how you really feel,
get into
Jim.
A fit check.
Yeah. Why don't you lead us off? Because obviously we mentioned that you got the shorts on in your fucking sweltering abode.
I mean, I was wearing different pants. I was wearing very sick South to West 8 non-spring collaboration pants.
You'll see him in the promo pic. Yep. You can see.
Nike ankle socks, which, by the way, you're anti-ankle sock, right?
Never wear them.
You know what? Fuck you. And...
Okay,
I'm gonna fucking wear these shits loud and proud, and like even like not no shows, but like even like what's like below ankle sock, like that's kind of like at the ankle joint.
Is that still technically an ankle sock? I know what you mean though. The low
I was wearing them yesterday. They just peek. Yeah, they
just
peek out of like a sneaker. You know what I mean? I was wearing them yesterday. Yeah. I like those. I can't do the fucking ones that come up to your knee and then you scrunch them down.
Yeah, or leave them up.
That shit makes. Leave them up. I can't do that. It's too like LA. Well, with pants, yes. With pants, yes.
Sure. Oh, you mean with shorts? Got it.
But even today with pants, when we got dinner with the plug, I wore these because it's too hot. I just
lunch with the plug.
Sorry, lunch with the. What did I say?
You said dinner.
Well, maybe I'm not gonna eat. I don't know.
Oh,
my sexy.
We got a live show to look good for.
Yeah, exactly. This jump rope isn't maybe doing all that it should be.
You did say that the shorts. You wear medium. I wear large. You're like, the medium is feeling a little tight. I'm like, hey man. That's on you, dog.
It's that boopa. That bussy fupa.
That's that Blue Chew doing work, dude. You got a fucking little girth in your waistband.
Exactly. I'm doing fucking majority ankle socks all summer. Again, I cannot.
That's your vibe.
I can't do the scrunch shit. Also, you know what I realized that we learned recently? It's because my pins, I have stubby legs, right? So I'm trying to elongate the leg.
Well, it's not that they're stubby. I think they're just average.
Sure.
Sized.
I'm like more torso than leg. And so I got to, keep those sock length.
Oh, so this for you is like an aesthetic. It's a visual thing, kind of. You're showing more skin to make your legs look longer. And hence also why 5-inch inseams would also help in terms of optical illusion.
I mean, we'll find out.
That's optical delusion, bro.
Yeah. Got the burgundy fine wine shorts on.
They're aging finer than sexy Jimmy.
Yeah, these are for sure my current favorite colorway. The black is growing on me absolutely.
Should we say how the Juicy Jimmies are in dead last right now?
Sure.
Darty Pack number 1.
Well, we don't know that.
Well, what it was earlier was, for anyone who cares about this, for all the fans keeping score at home, Darty Pack blowing everything out of the water.
Is that
Hand
true?
up, that's on us. We fucked up.
Is that true though?
That is true.
I thought it was like 1/3 of sales. Which I guess, yeah, all right. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. So you had Darty, then it was black, which
Yeah.
I would have never expected. Then green, and then Juicy Jimmy pulling up the rear. But we got a lot of time. We got a lot of time left.
We can also call them the Reds or the Burgundies. Not the
Oh,
Juicy
now
Jimmies.
you don't want to take credit, dude.
No.
Now it's not the Lucky Larry and the. First of all, by the way, if you're one of these bloodthirsty cretins that just wants to see a lot of fighting, you want that old
Yeah,
Jimmy
stay
Larry
tuned.
combativeness back.
Stay tuned.
Well, you already told me to go fuck
third-
myself to my face.
No, I didn't say fuck yourself. I said fuck you.
Thank you for
With a
clarifying.
great pregnant pause in between. Comedic timing is off the fucking charts right now.
Save that for the
You know
live
what?
show,
The
dude.
Burgundies are they're the rarest. That's what there is.
Wow,
You're gonna go out there, the chances of you seeing a big bozo in the Lucky Larrys or in the Back in Blacks.
don't
I'm
say
not
that.
like. I'm just one bozo.
How not to market 101
in
Please go on.
the 10,000 pairs that we sold, there
Yes.
may have been a 1 in 10,000 bozo, right, that copped, and
Yeah, you can't
and so
control
the
that.
chances are higher that bozo caught black or green, or the darty.
Or the Darty. Yeah, I guess you're right. Technically, that is math. Can't argue with science.
I'll tell you why I like the burgundies. They can be like the standout piece, or they can kind of fade if you're wearing like something crazier. And I think burgundy goes with more colors to me than like Kelly green. Black obviously is like the most universal shit.
Right.
But if you can't wear a black top on black unless you want like the all black look.
Yeah, I guess the point here is that we fucking nailed all the colors. You got a whole
Yeah.
spectrum. We kind of, speaking of triple backflips into things, I mean, that is the Palestinian flag color, or with the white too. So there you go. It's life imitating art, all
Statehood.
for a good cause. And then what's the
Statehood,
T?
statehood now. This
Yes.
is a vintage Claude Monet water lilies tee, I believe, from Claude Monet Paris.
So some show.
Some shit.
Some anti-Semitic French bullshit.
From our guy Vintage Sponsor, right?
Oh,
And we
shout
talked
out.
about art vintage with the guest, who I guess we're behind the paywall, but also
Oh.
this is 2 weeks from now. We're on a
Well,
2-week
I guess we
cycle.
can kind of give a little. Well, we got Jonah, the homie Jonah from
Warner.
Blackbird Spy Plane is coming in next week, and then that will be followed up by
Kathleen Sorbara,
from Chicky's
founder
Vintage.
of Chicky's Vintage. aka
Great episode.
Thicky's Vintage. She was like, yeah, that's definitely a trend that is like popping right now. I was like, shit, maybe I
That's
like,
and she owned. Well, she obviously you got this from Vintage Sponsor. His name's Matt, right?
yeah, Matt, yeah.
You got this from Matt. Shout out Matt. But that's like her thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Chef has
Chef-
arties
Chef's
from
Pi-
her.
Chef's
You have
Picasso,
arties from hers.
I don't have arties from her.
Oh.
But Chef's Picasso tee, which is like a
Best.
huge John he
So
caught from
good.
her. So like,
Yeah.
he definitely has a stranglehold on that.
Shout out Kathleen. Thank you for
Kathleen.
coming on the program. Great episode. That'll be a fun one, and that'll be in
Absolutely.
2 weeks.
And then on the ass and dick, I got some sweaty Hanes boxers that are.
It is now. I'm getting a little.
Saying I offered you some shorts.
No,
but you
I
turned
and
them
I
down.
appreciate that.
All right,
okay.
and drinking a tall boy Modelo.
Yeah, and I got the we're making Americana great again this week. So
Yeah, I
we
was feeling
got
a little. I was feeling a little spicy.
shorts
a
are
little
made in the
international.
USA. J.Crew is fucking back. I'm drinking the king of beers. Obviously, you are a fucking traitor. You're south of the border doing God knows what
It's the
with
North-
God knows who.
It's the North American continent.
Are these both Anheuser-Busch?
Yeah, probably. And like, yo, this is an ally. Mexico is fire.
Yeah, and you already know Modelo's with the fellows all fucking day. I wore Belgians to the crib. I am wearing calf length dress socks. I couldn't tell you the brand, and that's out of respect for not being because I would normally like when we went and potted with Kathleen, I went barefoot, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, and we came back here, and then I was like, oh, I gotta like
Did your feet stink? Did your
walk.
feet stink?
Probably if they're in the Belgians, shits were definitely ripe. So out of respect for you
No, I appreciate that. I mean, my crib
and your crib,
my
Your
shoes off
sweltering
my shoes
crib.
off. I know my shoes off policy has been very relaxed with like all the work folk that
oh
have been coming
shit,
through.
did you fucking.
No, of course not. I'm too pussy to be like, excuse me, sir, with the fucking marine tattoos up and down your arm. Can you please take off your work boots? No, of course not. They need them shits to work. They probably have like steel toe in the fucking toe cap.
Sure, dude.
And would fucking curb stomp me with them shits.
Oh,
if
so
I-
so that's why they're smoking menthols on the roof because you would never even remotely tell
Well, also
them
they're
otherwise,
they're cool.
whether it's policy or
They're
not.
fucking cool. They all have like.
They're
all, like,
smoking cools.
Yes. Nice.
Hell yeah.
All right, moving up from the sides.
Vintage Levi's 501s on the ass and dick, a Kamakura Oxford cloth button down up top, and that is it. That's
Is this your
complete
shit
fit
for the
check.
summer? Is going to be like true, like kind of like dress shirts?
I don't
quote
know.
unquote,
I
dress
have
shirts?
so many now. Also, you know another thing I hate. Speaking of guys who buy the shorts, or guys or girls, people that buy the shorts that don't listen to the pod. When people are like, "What are you wearing?" in like the promo pic, it's like we literally do it in the goddamn show, and that portion is it's not free right now, but it's usually free.
Yeah.
That's so frustrating. As an artist,
I know.
It's so goddamn frustrating.
The customer service is both the most rewarding because it's direct engagement
It's
with
not
fans,
rewarding.
and also at times the most frustrating because it's like, yo,
It's
if you,
rough, dude.
Again, if you're one of those guys, it's just like, oh, cool shorts brand. Like you don't listen. Like we've been talking about these shorts for years. Also, I do want to know, yo, if you're a lady that copped the shorts, let us know because that's cool.
Ooh, like rolling up the waist, like
Ooh.
soccer chick style. That's a
Yeah.
great look.
Yeah,
That's
volleyball shit.
That's like the Y2K. We're fucking back. Low rise jeans, thong poking out. We're rolling down the fucking
This is what you were wearing
gym
in 8th
shorts.
grade?
Yeah, this is what I was wearing to 8th grade. Yeah, I guess this is gonna be my look. I just have me. I'm on my dress shirt shit. I got some westerns. Campies are absolutely always gonna be in play.
These with the shorts though are gonna be.
That's a move.
Yeah, absolutely.
You heard it here first, people. You saw it here first. Oh, rolling on the wrist, still married, not divorced yet.
Wait, so I purposely was like this week we talked about Larry's divorce ? Was there any blowback or any comments? Or
No, well,
was
Jenna doesn't even. I think she she
I
might
think
like read.
She doesn't follow me.
Honestly, I bet you she has you muted because I think we're all muted. The pod, me, you, not the Groms necessarily, but yeah, I think she's pretty liberal with the mute when it comes to anything remotely within the TF extended.
Except when it comes to selling merch, because that is her fucking her
Yeah.
livelihood as well as yours.
My wife wanted me, to mention that every short that you buy, not only will we be helping Palestinian children, but she could get injectables for her face.
Injectables?
That's what she calls
like a fucking like Lunchables.
No,
It's like, let me get some ham right here, a
Yeah.
fucking Ritz cracker right here.
She wants a fucking Lunchable injection.
Dude, we might get to it later, but I think that one thing that we should do, like a summer activity, is get injections.
No fucking way, bro. I'm not doing body mod for the pod.
Botox?
No, I would rather get a tattoo or
Tattoo?
piercing
Really?
than get like lip fillers.
Those are temporary though; they go away.
But
You can look like fucking Casey Musgraves out here, you know?
Bro, no way.
Little ass crack showing.
You're talking big fucking spice. Listen, we'll get Botox. We're not getting fillers, dog. Big difference.
You have nothing to lose. See, that's the thing is that I'm willing to put my fucking lips on the line here, and like I'm about to enter the horny summer on record.
Yeah.
And you think I'm coming out? If I'm coming out here looking like fucking Donald Duck, Darkwing Duck,
Daffy Duck.
versus you have nothing to lose because you're married, you're booed up. You could get a fucking Gucci face tattoo,
Like ice
get
cream?
a chrome hearts cross.
The ice cream. For a pod run by two extremely handsome geniuses, we've talked about plastic surgery quite a bit, I feel like, on the pod. We've
Well,
kind of
it
broached
is-
this subject before. But anyway, that's a complete fit check and drink check. So I guess we can get into the program.
Sure. All right. First up, Lawrence, you're actually kind of embodying the look a
little
bit
bit, yeah.
of a young fella entering the workforce. Maybe he's watched Mad Men, but
Mad Men?
Yeah, but he's not gonna fucking splurge for the suit. But
Okay.
he needs the
A Ludlow?
he needs the everyday basics. Maybe he respects what Todd Snyder's doing at the liquor store, but he can't. Yeah, just like cop a few Ludlows off the Raccioli. You're looking a little J.Crew-ish, I gotta say.
Enlightened,
Our
J.Crew.
boys are in the news right now. They just named Brendan Babenzian as the men's creative director at J.Crew, a post that has been vacant for 5 years since Frank Mutin left in 2017 to go start his fucking Airbnb or bed and breakfast in Massachusetts somewhere.
Shout out to Frank.
Which looks awesome, by the way. I used to see him all the time in Williamsburg. It was really weird.
He's a legend, bro. He's a fucking legend.
Frank Mutin. So Brendan Babenzian, the guy that fucking founded Noah and worked at Supreme for a million years before that.
He was the design director at Supreme.
Yes, but he started at Supreme early days, like when there was like no infrastructure operations. And Jebby, I think that his first thing was first to like, because I reread the interview I did with him.
Right. Sure.
Work on a Vans collaboration. Just like what's the colorway, what's the look like, and then kind of like implement, because part of design is like how do designs come into existence.
The supply chain.
Implement the supply chain and operations and of production. Before that, he worked on Pervert, legendary cult brand Pervert in Miami with this guy Andrew who went crazy and is now like a fucking street preacher or some shit. Sorry, not crazy. I don't mean to.
And had founded Noah and then shuttered it at some point in between all this too.
Founded Noah, came back to Supreme, founded Noah again in 2015, and Noah is now like a household name.
Right. Well,
love it or hate it, whatever. It's absolutely, you put it up there with like Palace. You put it up there with like
probably
ALD.
at this point, maybe
in terms
above
of,
Palace.
In terms of just like knowledge or just like
visibility. Yeah.
People that know it, not in terms of just like whether people fuck with it. I'm just saying like it's up there, right? It's like
a recognition, brand recognition.
Yes.
That's what we're.
I would say it's like Palace, Noah, ALD is like that's like a certain tier.
It's the tier below Supreme because
Sure.
Supreme is monolithic in that regard, right?
All right, so he is now the men's creative director. The first collection that he's going to oversee drops in the second half of 2022. This announcement comes almost exactly a year after J.Crew declared bankruptcy in May 2020 during the Panini. They are now they restructured.
Right, they exited
All their
bankruptcy,
fucking shit
restructured.
all their debt was copped or whatever. They're now owned by a private equity group like Anchorage Capital Holdings or some shit.
It's fucking evil and nefarious because it sounds so fake. That's how you know it's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Real money machine.
So the last 2 points that I'll make on just like the news is that the goal of hiring Brendan is to quote redefine the iconic brand, merging the vitality and creativity of today's style subcultures with an innovative appreciation of classic menswear. So you want the subcultures, you want the classic menswear, you want them to have sex in the middle. And then the other interesting note is that Brendan really wants to ramp up collaborations.
Yes,
which is something obviously like he
he's an expert on that.
So
now.
instrumental with like Supreme honed that or took that from Japan and like made it a thing. Noah has done a bunch of a bunch of collabs. You've been known to pop a boner over J.Crew.
Okay.
Right throughout the years in your day. Does this news move your penis?
Does it move my penis? No, I definitely don't consider myself a J.Crew shopper anymore. With that said, I can't imagine hearing this news and hating on it. Whether you're like crazy excited and you're already fucking extrapolating all the cool shit that Brendan is going to do that will be available at your local mall, or you're just like, okay, I'm intrigued. Let's see where this goes. Like, I can't see anyone hating on this. And with that said, I did read like a couple worm brain takes on how this is so fucking corny. And it's like, okay, well, I guess if you don't like Noah and you have no respect for Brendan and his pedigree, sure, I can see how this is bullshit to you and might piss you off that so many people were talking about it. But on face value, while I don't think I'm the customer that will necessarily be like buying this stuff, I think this is pretty good in terms of like helping out both parties.
Who is the customer?
Immediately.
Who is the customer?
Well, Brendan said that they're not even going to try to speculate, right? And it's so funny when any job like this
is that a cop out though?
A little bit. I was gonna say every time one of these fucking hiring, these roles get filled, anytime this is announced, the first question is like, yeah, who's gonna be the new guy? Who are we going after? And you usually get like a canned response, a cookie cutter answer, or maybe someone with like a laser specific vision. This was a punt. He kind of was like, we're not gonna put people in a box. People surprise you every day, and you could look at that glass half full or glass half empty. Like, yeah, maybe it's a punt, but maybe this is an extension of what he's trying to do with Noah, which is like kind of like just cool stuff for everybody.
Do you think that dudes in the Midwest or like your kind of current everyday shopper, they hear this news and they're like, oh, I've heard of Supreme. Oh, I've even heard of Noah. Like maybe J.Crew's cool now. Or does that not even fucking matter to the guy shopping the 150 J.Crew locations in whatever malls or whatever the fuck across the country?
I think it definitely appeals to the coastal, dwellers that listen to this pod, right? Because, when people come to New York, they ask us where to shop all the time and we give them the fucking hit list, the laundry list. But like, imagine having like a really cool or even just even a really solid option that's not Uniqlo, that wherever you live, right? It's there. It's accessible. And I know everyone can like shop online, and all those cool places in New York all have websites and you can all, buy gear from them directly, assuming it doesn't sell out. I think that this is going to be impactful. I think for a lot of like real dudes that still care about gear. I think that the democracy that J.Crew, when it's good, right, brings to the table, I think is worthwhile, right? Even if it's not for me and you specifically.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is just an unwinnable proposition. Like, J.Crew is so in the shitter. And, like, I want to see Brendan win.
He's cool, and we like him.
Whatever you think of Noah, and it certainly had its kind of, like, bumps in the road recently, and maybe it, like, scaled too quick or became, like, too hype-beasty
Or they doubled down too hard on the activism and the SJW
and that
shit.
was in their control, but like them becoming like hype beast brand du jour is a little bit outside of their control. Obviously, you want to you should be able to control the narrative of your brand through like various strategies. Brendan is a very cool guy. I interviewed him in 2015, right when he launched Noah, for like 2.5 hours, and then we were like, he would like email me just like random songs. He's a fucking
you guys
very
broed
cool
down.
guy.
Okay, sick.
This was 6 years ago. I don't fucking know, what he's like now. But I was like, yo, I respect this Noah shit. Then when it became a brand where people would just like wear the logo, right? So it's like
that cross shit.
Yeah, or just like Noah, whether it's the hat, the tees, the hoodies. The cut and sew has always been fire.
Yes.
The prep, I hate prep. You know that I think it's an extension of white supremacy.
Right.
And so when they started like leaning into like the rugbies and the Sperry shit, I was like, oh, I don't really know about this. Like, where's the fucking cheetah suits?
Right.
Where's the mohair? The
fucking loud
camel
trowel.
hair hoodies.
Right.
The paisley pants, the paisley trousers, which are on seasons, those are fire. So I want to see Brendan win. I still think he's a very fucking cool guy. I still think he's one of these guys that like was like early, like I skated, I surfed, I would listen to like good music. I was like there for like the emergence of hip hop in New York,
post punk and all that new wave shit that he loves.
Yeah, was in Miami doing like one would assume like just crazy things down there. Obviously in the early arguably heyday of Supreme. So I want this guy to win, but it's also like, yo, J.Crew, like, is your goal to make J.Crew cool again? Is it to sell as much shit as possible? Is it to take this like behemoth and make it a little more nimble? And your guy, Michael Williams at ACL, I agree with him in that he's like, yo, if you work at a giant corporation, any idea you put out there is going to get, by the time it gets greenlit and approved, it has to go through so many
it's so
dilutions and iterations that when it hits the fucking racks, with clothing especially, it is nowhere near what you thought it was, right?
Yeah, the synergies between what Brendan represents and what like J.Crew can represent, I think there's some incongruencies and some stuff like the green aspect and the sustainability aspect. I think J.Crew, well, first of all, every brand is putting out lip service, but I think J.Crew has some plan in place where they're like, by 2025, regardless of like this hire, they'd already said this. And we're also, by the way, we're talking about just the men's portion of the business. Right. There's all this other stuff that's happening that will be completely out of Brendan's control. But the sustainability stuff links up perfectly. J.Crew had already had a plan in place that by 2025, all of the cotton they used was going to be organic, and they were going to really make an effort to kind of be as sustainable as the fashion can be. So that links up. As far as like aesthetically speaking, I really would push back on is Noah prep. I don't really think it is prep. I always see it more as classic menswear or Americana, for lack of a better term, which is also how I see J.Crew, at least recently, as far as what their roots were in the 90s and how much they leaned into like prep, not just as an aesthetic, but as like an aspirational lifestyle. I'm not talking about that, but in the 2010s during our kind of like, heyday and what Todd talked about in the pod, right? Was the dream team. Todd, Frank,
Todd pod.
and Mickey, right? Mickey Drexler, Frank Moytens, and Todd Snyder.
Mick.
That's who we're talking about. Like what they were doing really, to me, didn't feel preppy at all, right? It felt like, well, they were there for fucking the urban woodsman look. They arguably created it. But a lot of what they were doing and what was resonating was classic menswear done in a sophisticated way. And the point that Michael made in his Substack that I want to give him credit for, that I think is so true, is that imagine a spectrum where you have Uniqlo on one end, where their brand, and this is so Japanese of them, is that there isn't really a brand. It's clean, it's minimal, it's efficiency, it's exactly kind of why they are the best at what they do, because they are true to that. Then on the other end of this hypothetical spectrum, you have a Ralph Lauren, which is loud, in your face, where it's almost too much brand, or I think Michael said personality, too much personality. J.Crew is the middle, right? Or was the middle and can be the middle again. And I think that you do that not by leaning into prep or leaning into maybe the worst kind of stuff that Noah does, but leaning into a lot of like that cut and sew that you're talking about. And obviously there's going to be quality differences.
Who needs that?
Bro, I remember graduating college and finding like the perfect flat front chino at the time.
What year was that?
That would have been 2009.
So why are we like, why do we have to recycle 2009 again?
Well, first of all, if things are cyclical, we're kind of probably we're maybe coming back to that regardless.
Is J.Crew not fast fashion?
Wow, no, it's not. Well, I think they've become more fast fashion over the years. Quality's gone down. Stores look shittier. There's less of an emphasis on cool styling and, cool content or whatever. So I think that they've approached that precipice, but they weren't fast fashion back in 2010, at least not in my opinion. Not with the collabs they were doing, not with the product they were putting out.
I think if you go to a store and they have an entire wall of one shirt style and then just like every fucking gingham or plaid or solid color option possible, like
you don't care about this, but what if I told you that's Thomas Mason fabric though? Like that's not that that's a little. There was always a level of sophistication and taste, and the one thing that I will give credit to that OG team for that I think that Brendan will bring back is this idea of presenting these clothes in interesting context, which usually comes down to like styling and shoots, and
sure.
like they did a lot of really cool shit that I think pushed the barriers of what
like put a fucking trucker jacket under
a suit is like
my god,
but that's something
that's when I saw God.
But that's a tasteful classic with a twist that honestly puts asses in seats for young guys.
Who the fuck, like, why are they looking backwards to like classic menswear, classic sports, like American sportswear? Like, who wants that? Who needs it? Look forward. Why aren't you?
Not everyone is going to wear fishing leopard pajama pants from South 2 Estate,
well,
dog.
To those people, I'm sorry, bro.
Free your mind. Yeah,
South
dude.
2
I think you're not a hater.
I'm not a hater. I just don't see the necessity of it. I guess like
it never mattered to you like it mattered to me and other guys. That's why.
J.Crew is everyday basics, but guess what? It feeds the economy. No, sorry, that's Joe Biden. Guess what? You buy those, and then they last you for few years, and then that's it. And also, I think that dudes, and yes, this is like throw gang, like John's enthusiast, aren't looking to buy maybe first thing out of college. Maybe they're like, yo, I need that $58 button down, right? Because then I'm gonna wear like once a week, get a wash on the weekends, wear it back to work. But I think like we're coming back to work, so maybe J.Crew is kind of seizing upon that. I just don't think Brendan's going to get the fucking freedom that he would thrive in or could thrive in because, like we said, it being a private equity group, this is an investment. They're going to be thirsting after quarterly
These
growth.
suits, no Ludlow, are going to be breathing down his motherfucking neck.
QOQ, quarter-over-quarter growth, which will lead you to make decisions that will immediately like get you profits and gain in the short term versus like, look at Noah. I mean, Noah took a few years before it really became as ubiquitous as it is.
And a lot of that, too, is like the presence in Japan and the licensing that they have. Like, I think was a big part. Well, that's played a big part of Supreme, played a big part of, like, Saturdays, plays a big part of what Noah is doing now. Wait, so we both agree that the deck is stacked against him and that it's very possible that this will not work out and previous L takers will be taking new L's, but I think you can't deny that like at least the product, whatever does hit in the second half of 2022, will be leaps and bounds better than whatever it is now or was recently, right?
No idea what it is now.
So that's good.
I went into the J.Crew site for 2 seconds before this and like immediately closed out. I was offended, but when you say the product, you mean aesthetically?
Yeah, and quality-wise, I think Brendan is such a tasteful dude that I don't think it's not gonna be cashmere fucking hoodies.
What is the main draw of J.Crew? The price, I would say.
I think it's
the price you get for the inoffensiveness of it. You think that he's gonna up the fucking actual quality of the garment, like the materials, I think aesthetically and tangibly, I think this stuff will while keeping costs down. He's gonna up the fucking production quality.
Well, here's the thing, right? What is their sweet spot for price point? I don't think it's ever been cheap. It's never been cheap. Yo, like Uniqlo, let's be clear when we're talking about that spectrum. Uniqlo is is objectively, I think, inexpensive.
All right. A J.Crew casual shirt.
Okay. $100.
$98, $65, all $48.
Okay, that's on sale.
Yeah. Men's dress shirts. Let's say you need this for the office. $98, the slim fit Ludlow premium fine cotton. 98.
Okay, I mean, but that's
100,
that's
69.
That's
nice.
That's twice as expensive as Uniqlo and half price of Ralph, and that's what it needs to be. So okay, I think sure J.Crew has been about price, but I definitely think that it's not just been about price, but like the price of a solid aesthetic. And people use the term classics and basics, but I really, and this is maybe where we differ. Even if I don't wear J.Crew anymore, and I'm not going to wear J.Crew moving forward, regardless of who they hire, I think that it is tasteful in a classic way. And this is a difference of opinion because you don't dress that way. You're not into that kind of stuff. This is the duality of man at work.
Even when I did though, it was like J.Crew, like I don't know, man. It just never vibed with me. I don't know. Like it just seemed. It's always been.
Well, you see it as white supremacy.
Yeah. Yes, but also like mall shit. Like it's like stuffy. It's like very, how do you do, fellow kids? What do you want to see? Okay, whatever. Like, we don't know what the fuck is going on.
To a white guy from Long Island, this is like Virgil getting the LV job. So we have to consider that. I think Brendan grew up on J.Crew to some degree. For him, this is an opportunity. And also, let's be very clear.
Yeah.
This motherfucker got a baggy
absolutely. You think that? Yeah.
Do you think that maybe this is maybe too galaxy brain in the extrapolation, but does that maybe Noah's not doing as good as people think, or as the gram would let you know? And he's like, yeah, I need $1 million,
bro. I don't
kick
know about
back
that.
to the fucking team. You know, who knows?
I mean, no racist Ludlow suits. I'll just say that. What would you want to see though, like product wise? What would you want to see? Like, not that you're ever gonna buy it, but like, is he gonna if he puts together a nice fucking Oxford with nice poplin cotton and it's some like patchwork shit, right? With like all mashed up. Let's just say a bunch of different cheetah prints.
Yeah,
is that something you're gonna buy? Like, what do you want to see out of
Well, what I would say is I would love. Okay,
what is 2009 entering the fucking banking workforce? Larry Bear.
What do I want to see? Think about everything good. Everything good at Noah that has a logo. Imagine all of that Sans logo. That is something I would like to see.
Just a plain white tee.
so plain tees and plain hoodie. No,
hoodie.
I would love to see some statement stuff, right? Like obviously we've talked about the statement trowel bunch. We've talked about the camel hair cashmere. We've talked about the cheetah print corduroy. All these proprietary fabrics that Noah breaks down on their blog and is really like the if you know hero products that they put out, not the logo stuff that guys like you and I like. Like, could we get that kind of like a corduroy leopard suit for half of what it's going for at Noah? Maybe, right?
I think best
and
case
that
scenario,
is price. And you're right, price is obviously a factor here.
Best case scenario, I think it's like Beams plus E,
which is great.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is also,
and I think that the way it wins is whatever. You sell your fucking shit to lamestream America, and then they wear that shit to their fake email jobs. But then I think that hopefully you do get. Don't touch my just friends. Just friends.
Sorry, I didn't know I was trying to play.
You know that was my foot.
No, I thought it was the table.
Or give me a sign. Stop talking about Noah. And then maybe you do get like a patchwork camp collar shirt that like makes into the Thursday dumpers. Like, yo, you never believe. Like,
what's that
J.Crew?
Like. But then I wonder too. It's like, is Beams Plus like that much more expensive than what this stuff is going to be? So then it's like, should you just buy Beams Plus? And it's like, you want an Oxford shirt? It's like, why not buy just Kamakura, right? Or like So there's always going to be that. The big thing for me is that there are guys who are just coming into some money that are truly building a wardrobe from scratch that I think listen to this pod and feel maybe priced out or are not ready for some of the fucking above the ears, high level mustard shit. So this is important because there needs to be another option that's not just Uniqlo. Dog.
It's that bridge customer that is like hopefully just being like, oh fuck, I can't just wear my cum stained, mustard stained T-shirt to work or to meet my girl, like meet girls, go on dates, whatever. I need something a little
to meet chicks.
Yeah. Get my dick.
This is like first date clothes. Like, what are we really? We're talking about.
Bro,
we're talking about first date clothes. We're talking about office wear. Like, that's what we're talking about.
Okay, fellas.
Sexy Jimmy 101.
Let's zoom in on Sexy Jimmy here.
Just go.
Do not wear J.Crew on a first date. All right. Here's what we're gonna wear on a first date. Actually, I don't know what I'm gonna wear on a first date. I guess it depends on the weather, depends on the setting, depends on the activity.
Leopard pajama fishing pants.
Do not come through. Yes, wear those. They show your bulge quite nicely. Your rump is going to be well-rounded. You do not see my backside in the fit pic on today's IG. but do not wear a fucking J.Crew button down untucked with like the weird. It like splits weird because it's like supposed to be tucked, but no one wears their shit tucked.
That's why, honestly, Kamakura. I think it's a 5-button front.
Splits weird. There's a
Six
fucking
button
like
front.
dumb label on the shirt tail. Don't do it. Do not wear J.Crew on a first date. This is like middleman. This is like entry level. I gotta look nice, but I can't afford to look nice type shit, right? And maybe it can bridge you over. I think Brendan will win at J.Crew if he can bridge the gap between like the guys that are like, yo, I want to be wearing fucking Lemaire trousers, our Legace
Gateway
shirting,
Johns. You want Gateway Johns.
Gateway Johns, where it's like this is gonna bridge me over. This is gonna tide me over. Knows it's a nautical brand. It's gonna tide me over until I can really start to fucking fill these gaps in my wardrobe with like true Johns, not just fucking mall shit.
So to recap here, bearish, bullish, but we're not mad at this, and we don't think that anyone should be mad at this. This is at least to some degree interesting and exciting.
It seems like a J.Crew's like dying Hail Mary, like it's last grasp.
1,000,000,000%. Who else
right?
could they have hired for this gig?
I mean, I don't know. Like
Aaron
our
Levine,
boy Aaron.
someone like Todd Snyder, maybe.
If they brought Todd Snyder
Bring
back
it-
into the fold,
or Frank back.
I know that. Well, Frank Mutin is living his fucking best life.
I guess
up
he
in
doesn't need
wherever.
this. I don't need this shit.
But Todd like knows the company, knows where the bodies are buried, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that I honestly think that he could have come in if maybe
That's the American Eagle fucking non-compete. And probably with Aaron, no longer at A&F, but got to be a non-compete. There's no way that this
for sure
that he could have got this gig. But
I mean, Brendan is definitely a splashy name, right?
Yo,
But
and guess what? Even if nothing good ever happens, they just bought a whole press cycle of goodwill. Everybody is talking about them, including the only podcast that matters. And Brendan got paid, and J.Crew needed a juice, not infusion, but a transplant. And this is the fucking biggest story in our world.
when are we going to see a
will continue to
J.Crew?
be
When
for
are we
a
going to
bit.
see a J.Crew Noah collaboration?
Oh, my God. Oh, one thing we have not talked about is, and we were trying to figure this out, and this was never a big splash in the press, no pun intended. We're pretty sure that Brendan officially was the creative director at Sperry. And you never heard about it, and nobody gave a shit, despite him attaching his name to a couple collabs. So he's kind of tried to do something similar. And
I would say it's
and it was more of a whimper than a bang. So that doesn't bode
a,
well.
A brand was like, oh, like we're a classic American brand. Let's get this very buzzy, very relevant human from another brand that is like
Human.
that is
Let me cop this relevant human.
that
dude.
is informed by classic American brands and sportswear and bring him over to us. To me, it's just like, yo, no one gives a fuck about classic American sportswear except for Ralph. What else is there on that level of scale?
Brooks Brothers, who also took big L's lately. Yeah, I mean it's tough, right? And also, Ralph is by all measures is also not killing it either. They have their own problems. I mean, this is a systemic thing right now in menswear, where like these classic stodgy brands, if you survived the panini, if you were lucky enough, like nobody cares. You might still be around. So in terms of press and marketing, this is a big get. To quote Michael Williams again, who definitely is an expert on this matter, J.Crew got their man. This is the guy that they had to pony up and get. I don't know how hard it was because, again, like, you know, I think that Brendan versus most people in the industry probably has more respect, not even begrudging like we have, for this brand that he probably grew up fucking around in its heyday when they were the fucking cat's pajamas in the 90s, you know, with Gap defining the entire yuppie kind of preppy adjacent aesthetic. So I guess, listen, we're going to listen. Throwing Fits, the only podcast that matters, will continue to monitor the situation, and we will report back in the second half of 2022.
Yeah, well, you're throwing around a lot of names. Michael Williams, Aaron Levine, Brandon Babenzian, a lot of geriatric millennials, or maybe just geriatric.
Just geriatric, just Gen Z motherfuckers.
Gen M, or Gen R.
Sorry, they're Gen X.
Yes, Gen X or Gen G for geriatric.
Got it.
But yeah, so I mean, this new fucking buzzword term was dominating the timeline yesterday. Geriatric millennial, right? It was like, well, the crux of this article was like, geriatric millennials are absolutely necessary, are the future of the workforce,
and
because
bridging the gap back to what you were saying before.
They bridge the gap between the olds and the youngs, because they can kind of like code switch and speak both languages. Like, super TikTok digital versus just fucking like analog, like handshake deal type motherfuckers.
Sure.
This article gave me extreme PTSD. I almost could not finish this shit because she was like, it's like you have the olds that don't know how to fucking send, don't know how to like print something, right? And would like rather like handwrite a letter.
Or don't know what TikTok even is.
Versus
They're
then you
petrified
have
of
like
it.
the youngs who are
Autistic and can't talk to people.
perceived as like unprofessional,
Right.
Her example is like when they show up on Zooms, all I see are like messy ass bedrooms. It's like keep it buttoned up,
Right.
Who gives a fuck?
Keep it on the fairway.
Yeah. and also like these Gen Z kids are perceived to be entitled and also communicate in a way that like makes absolutely zero sense to these motherfuckers.
Right.
And this should give me PTSD because my previous job there was absolutely a generational gap between the olds and the youngs. And I was definitely stuck in the middle, and it was such a reason why like nothing got done because like some people
Communication.
Some people communicated via stopping by the office, having a little pop in.
Right.
Some people communicated via email. Some people didn't know how to fucking CC or BCC someone on the email. Other people were just it was only text.
Right.
When I was at Snapchat, oh my god, I just remember this. When I was at Snapchat, people communicated via Snap text.
That's brutal,
Which
dog.
you don't use Snapchat because you're a boomer.
I did it for a while.
That text disappears if you don't save it.
Right. So it's
So
like
you're fucking the VP of content would like send you something
Send
and
me
then
a
it would
snap.
disappear and you'd be like, what the fuck? Like
was the guy Evan Schmiegel?
Spiegel.
He got like Me Too, right? Or canceled because of emails or
He had a bunch of emails
frat
leaked.
emails.
He had
or
a bunch of
something?
emails when he was the president of his frat. He had a bunch of emails leaked by Gawker.
Oh,
he didn't get
hell
He
yeah.
didn't get canceled. It was pre Me Too.
Right.
But it was like, yo, we're getting on the blackout train. Sometimes no means go, my G. Like that type of shit.
Well, anyway, Evan fucking, regardless of his him snapping dick pics or whatever to his employees that disappear. The thing for me, not even PTSD, is I was, and a lot of people were like not mad at this on Twitter, but dunking on it because if there's one thing that old people hate, it's that it's being reminded
that they're old.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whereas you and I, technically, this article defines the geriatric millennial as born between 1980 and 1985, and we missed the cutoff. We're
still millennials.
So we're millennials. We're young. So I was happy to see that. I think that a lot of people that are employed and have fake email jobs that listen to the show totally understand the crux of this article, which is like who can be the translator, the Rosetta Stone of emojis, if you will.
I mean, bro,
right?
like,
And that's just that's office politics.
When you get to the point where you're like, if someone's like, why would you post that on IG story and not IG feed? And you're just like, how do I explain this?
How can I synthesize that this is just the obvious thing?
How do I just like explain what
water
reality is here?
is wet, and I can't explain why it just
Sun
is.
rises in east. Like,
Right.
I don't know, bro. And like, this kind of gave me PTSD to like
What it was like to be employed.
working for olds, working with youngs. And for a second there, I was like, was it that bad? Because recently, Lawrence, I don't know if
here
it's
we go.
because your weed consumption has
Yes.
been through the roof. If it's if your way of living out the onset of the horny summer on record is vicariously through just like getting as fucking stoned as possible.
Mhm. I get fucked up. Yeah.
And
I party.
I snapped at you a little bit yesterday, I think. Did I?
you? I don't know.
So you might
I
have
feel
just
like
gone over your head.
on some real shit. I feel like we've got a lot going on, and we've been like spending a lot of time together, working on not just sitting down and recording.
Okay, you know what it was? This is what happened. This is what set me off. Is that sorry, not to cut you off, not to piggyback off you. Your favorite phrase. You were like, I was like, yo. We got lunch with the plug today, and I was like, yo. And he responded to like fire emoji. What one does.
Of course.
And I was like, yo, I think we should give the plug a pair of free shorts. What do you think? And you're like, bet. I already got a list of seating. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where did this? And then you like tell me who it is. And I was like, I don't care. Well, I do care because some of those people were like, never heard of them. Nobody.
Well, some were. Well, whatever.
Sure. No, some of them had never done anything for me. But the fact that you were just like, yeah, this is the seating list. I'm like, whoa. Because every other time that there's a mutual, it's a 50-50 partnership.
Of course.
Which, for better for worse, it has to be unanimous on everything, right? Everything on my end, I try to make it like, Lawrence, what do we think about this?
Mm-hmm.
And also, I had spent an hour on the phone that day with the fucking New York Department of Finance
I
to
see. Okay.
get our login, not even to pay a bill, to get our fucking login. And
pay our
then,
back
and then
taxes?
to register just the credit, just the interest penalty on the penalty that we owed. Get our login, and I hate that. Now I'm not the fun. Now I'm the not fun guy, right? I'm the fucking spiteful guy. Because
You're the least fun kid at the party right now.
no, that's somebody else that we love.
We love
their
to
tweets.
shit on.
POV, the not fun kid, the super shut up.
Before you cut me off, my point was that lately I think that I've maybe leaned in to the worst parts of my personality. And to be clear with the seating list, what happened was I was like, yo, I have some thoughts about seating. I'll tell you in person. Because I'm not trying to explain why this is. And you like wanted to press the issue. So I sent you a picture or screen cap of what my list was. And then it was like, justify all this. And I'm like, well, I don't want to do this over text.
Who is this?
But then I felt compelled to because we had gone too far down that road. But I think,
and I'm like, where's Jonah Hill? Where's fucking Mikey Alfred? Where's Jonah Weiner?
And all these people all the people that are worthy of getting shorts, that
now
we
at this
both
point,
decree
yes.
of getting shorts will.
Also, at this point, we can afford to give away shorts to whoever. the fuck we want.
Exactly. Now, and that's what I kept saying. Like, what a great problem and argument to have. But to finish what I was saying, I think that because I've been, I think, stressed with the live show and just the nervousness that comes from that, and the fact that we're at a breakneck pace. And
I was like, and yesterday we were done working at 3:30. I was like, yo, you want to do the live show? And you're like, I could go home.
I want to go home and get fucked up. But anyway, so I think that all of this pressure of like, oh right, the job of retired professional podcaster is never finished. And it's more than we might let on mic, and it ebbs and it flows. And right now, shit is flowing, and the boys are fucking wet since birth, dude. Wet from downtown, wet from 3. So I have been self-medicating, and when I indulge, I tend to get extra lethargic, extra lazy, and then when you feel let down, you get real fucking bitchy.
Sorry about that, but also you not
My apologies
lethargic,
as well.
but you get real turbo Larry. When we were working on a super secret project, which we can't talk about, where we were fleshing out some characters, I was just like, shut up, like just stop talking.
I was high.
I know. And like, I'm not going to tell you not.
Larry rant mode engaged.
I know.
Not the monologue.
And there was, so I have access to the Throwing Fits email, which you by choice just don't have on your phone.
Because the Patreon notifications, I don't want to be suffering from success. I don't want all the new fucking Patreon emails to come in and clog my inbox.
You just want to look at the exit surveys.
Bro, I'm at my inbox right now. My phone is charging across the room, but I'm at inbox 59,000. I'm not good with email, and I don't need any more.
You are so bad with email.
I'm the worst.
You were 20 minutes late to a phone call on Tuesday.
I have a planner. I have a tangible planner, which is
which analog. You're fucking Gen X.
I'm fully analog. I prefer that versus Google Calendar. But all missed appointments aside, I just think that we've been at each other's throats a bit recently, and the email shit is, I will admit, I could do better.
I just want to. Your personal email, yes. And what I'm going to start doing is what your tactic is, and I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of this too, but I think that we're both like pussies when it comes to confrontation. We talked about this with like breaking up.
Yeah.
Right. We just let it ride until it like.
Especially when people are being generous and kind and reaching out to us. You know, it's like you don't want to say no or turn somebody down when they think they're doing something good for you.
I've learned to do that. I think a bit more with like requests online and what through socials and shit. Your move is just like, say less. Hit up throwingfitspod@gmail.com. And it becomes the fucking elephant graveyard where I then have to take a screenshot.
The island of lost children.
What is this? And sometimes there's stuff of value in there. Like,
for sure.
I mean? Like,
that is the email for the show. That's how you can get in touch with us.
Yeah, but a lot of times it gets it gets drowned out by like the bullshit or whatever that you send there just because you don't want to deal with it. And so there's one where it's from iHeartMedia, which is like a reputable company, and she sent an email that was just like, hey, per our conversation, like, let me know when you want to talk. And so there's no information for me to like parse out or like understand.
I don't even know what that is though, so I don't even.
You don't know what iHeartMedia is?
No, I don't know who that woman is.
So I forwarded it to your personal. Did you see that?
I did, but what I would tell you now, because I forgot to mention this to you, is I don't know what the fuck that woman is talking about either. I didn't talk to her, so I couldn't even tell you.
Well, I had to Google what her like subdivision of iHeartMedia.
What was it? Was there anything good?
It's a company that got acquired by iHeart, and I think they're in charge of like developing like podcast properties. So
Okay, well, we're already listen. The girls are fully developed. We don't need any fucking incubation whatsoever. So, fuck her, and I could not tell you where the fuck she came from. So her presumptuous ass can go to fucking spam.
And look, the duality of man, the duality of Jimmy and Larry, that's why we're successful, right? Is yin and yang. Like, when you're up, I'm down. When you're down, I'm up. No, seriously. Like, when you get...
Never both up at the same time.
Well, except at the afters.
But down bad.
Yes.
Always.
Always down bad. Always up bad. Maybe that's an episode title. Up bad. Like, when you were going fucking crazy turbo on the texts, on the group... You love doing business over group text, by the way, which is horrible. And this is going to get into our different kind of like management styles.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what we're talking about. Right.
Talking about. But when you're like going crazy frantic on text with like Rylan this morning, and Rylan kept being like, "Yo, I got appointments. I'm working," and then I tried to step in and be like,
"It's launch day, dog."
I was like, "Yo, I know, but like only." I was like, necessary comms only. Rylan, we know you're busy. Let us know what the numbers are looking like.
You're making me sound so bad, bro.
If I
okay,
we could read the correspondence.
Okay.
And I think. But my point is that when you're crazy, when you're crazy manic, that puts me into like Zen mode.
Right.
And I think that when I'm going crazy manic, you're already high. and so you're good.
So I'm the problem?
No, what I'm saying is that this is not a problem. And I think this is why we work together, is that you are the kid that does, in the group project, you're the kid that does the assignment the night before it's due.
Morning of.
Yeah, literally morning of.
Yeah.
Literally, the Patreon post this morning was written morning of.
Yeah. And it was still good. And it still fucking moved the units.
Yeah, it was all
It's
right.
also, a lot of this shit is formatted at this point. It's Mad Libs,
I know.
right? It's paid
or
by
like
numbers
the fact
to some
that
degree.
the pod shorts descriptions, you were like, yo, here's one description for all three. And I was like, Lawrence, can you please add at least one bullet point that is unique to each
And
one?
like, can you email this and parse it out so it's not,
Yes.
a fucing, speaking of Rosetta Stone, it's not completely indecipherable.
All right, so when it comes to different management styles, because we've each like led teams before, I would say that I truly wish that I could be
Wait,
more...
can I own up to something that's going to make you really
for
pissed
sure.
off since we're talking about email before getting it? Sending people to the elephant graveyard, a lot of times it's not about like, James will just handle it. It is like being punted down the line, and I understand that you're the one who kind of has taken ownership of it basically because I'm completely unreliable and irresponsible, so it feels like it falls on you. With that said, the worst thing that I do that you probably don't know about is, let's say I punt someone to the elephant graveyard, expecting it to just completely be ignored because of some bullshit. When that person follows up, typically over IGDM, when they're talking to me and they're referencing the email, I go, "Oh yeah, let me remind James, email is his thing." I will I can see you get pissed. Hand up, that's on me. I will stop doing that. That's the wrong thing to do because that is me truly then blaming you behind your back.
Well, what set me off this week was like...
Hey, sorry.
What set me off this week was when you're like dealing with like the cool guys being like, "Oh yeah, bro, I got you." Like, yeah, don't even like say less. I'm on the phone with the fucking tax lady.
Right.
Right. And I'm not able to be like, "Yeah, Cam Hicks, I got you." Like, say less.
Right.
Does Virgil need a pair?
Though Cam, we could both agree on, he's getting pairs.
Oh, absolutely. He's getting two
That
pairs.
man's the man.
What was I saying?
We're talking about management styles.
I wish I could be more relaxed and like more trustworthy, and more like teach a man to fish. But I'll say this is that I don't mind
Teach a man to Tenkara.
getting fucking Mike Rowe and getting dirty, getting in the trenches,
Yeah.
and just doing this shit, right?
You'd rather do it yourself.
No, not rather.
Okay.
I can delegate with the best of them. I can fucking, be like, you do this, you do that, you do this. It all comes together here. But when it comes to the showdown, I'm not afraid to roll my fucking sleeves up
showdown
and get in the muck. Whereas I think that you, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you revel yourself in considering yourself like a delegator, even when it's fucking absolutely unnecessary. And it's like, no, Lawrence, we already decided this. You don't have to like tell people like what's already happening.
I like to think that I exist above the fray. I will say that I'm going to paraphrase Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs says, "I don't hire smart people to tell them what to do. I hire smart people so they tell me what to do." And Larry says, "I don't hire smart people to tell them what to do. I hire smart people to do my job for me." So as I'm not so much,
that's fine.
I'm not so much a delegator as I am use your brain. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do what's right.
Do what's right and do it. And I think last thing I'll say, because we are at an hour right now, although there were a few minutes of us before, but I think that going back to the fucking geriatric millennials, and I have a friend today that is on a dick sucking run, is on a CC, not BCC fiasco with thousands of
like
people.
a thread from hell.
Thousands of people. And be like, where it's at the point where, like 2 hours ago, it's at the point where it's like, you idiots, stop replying all, but like replying all.
Right.
It's like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that, you fucking idiot. Like that type of shit.
The calls coming from inside the house.
Yes. Is that I truly think that minimizing communication is actually the golden fucking rule where it's like, yo, recognize when you don't have to weigh in. And recognize when you don't have to be like, to piggyback or to be like just following up or, or echoing this person.
You just literally went this. You basically were like, intelligent Jimmy business solutions. The key to communication is actually to not communicate at all, which I'm with you on that, bro.
That's what I'm saying. All right. Throwing Fitz back.
Woo! Listen, sometimes the pod needs to exist so that you and I can work through our couples therapy with an audience to hold us accountable and to do it in real time. And again, if you're a fucking bloodthirsty demon that wants the fucking drama, you want the fisticuffs, mom and dad, it's not a perfect marriage. We fight, we disagree, and sometimes it's going to happen for
when it
your
comes down,
pleasure.
You love to riff. You're confident. You're confident in our ability to like freestyle and riff. And I wish I had that confidence. And eventually, I'm always like, oh fuck, I forgot. Like we're fire. But I'm always like, yo, I need to know this if this is happening on Friday so that it can inform my Wednesday.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I need to
You're
know.
a brass tacks motherfucker. You're responsible, and I am irresponsible.
I wouldn't even say responsible versus irresponsible because I'm not that responsible. It's just like I don't want to be like I do procrastinate, and the procrastination does put the pressure on me to like get shit done at the wire, and like that's how I used to be. But now that it's like the pod is fucking going 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every fucking day.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, pod and personal lives.
You're a grinder, bro. You're a grinder. I'm a beautiful mind. I think it's
I dump in what's the hockey term? I fucking dump and push or dump and grind. I don't know. Dump in, I'm grinding. Bumping, I'm grinding.
Dump the puck. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck hockey. You love hockey. You're the fucking hockey guy. I mean, I was
watching 2 games last night. There, and guess what? I didn't have to worry about putting this together because we kind of pre-pro'd the day before.
We did. I will say that we bring out, well, I don't know what good I bring out in you. And I'm not just saying that I'm not fishing. I'm not fishing for a compliment. I'm not looking for
pants.
but yeah, exactly. But literally. But I think that, just the yin and the yang, the duality of man. Again, more catchphrases. If you listen to the pod, once, you've listened to them all.
If you listened to the pod, you wouldn't have had all those dumb questions about the shorts.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. Welcome to all the new listeners. You can expect a little bit less fighting.
I feel like this is like this happens
needs to be said.
Like 3 months.
Yeah,
on the boys only. All right. I mean, I guess that's the end of this week's boys only.
All right. This is a good one. Yeah, I guess. Sure.
And you know what? We'll save this segment for a future boys only.
Oh, we have more stuff to
talk
talk
about.
about.
My job easier later.
Yeah, I guess that's true. People helping people. That's what it's all about.
Thank you for listening to the Only Podcast That Matters. Yo, again, to all the shorts coppers, thank you.
Right side of history.
The children of Palestine, thank you.
Free
Even
Palestine.
Though Israel bombed the state of Israel bombed that Children's Relief Fund organization's headquarters. I don't think anyone's hurt or killed. So.
Fingers crossed. You can be an anti-Zionist without being an anti-Semite, and you can understand that the people of Palestine need our help. So,
and you don't have to fucking post on social media what your beliefs are. You can just have those beliefs and act on them.
Yeah. And you don't even need to buy the shorts to fucking donate to the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. They need the money now more than ever. And again, if you want to have your cake and eat it too, because you are a fellow John's enthusiast, don't buy the Darty Pack. Buy all 3 single Lucy's. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the only podcast that matters.
Chef, take us out, baby.